Imagine this. You're at a party and you see a woman who just radiates confidence. Everything about her screams it. Her smile, the way she moves her hands when she talks. Even her laugh seems to hypnotize everyone around her. And there you are, drink in hand, wishing you could walk over but you don't. That weight in your chest tightens, the lump in your throat grows, and your mind fills with excuses. I'm not attractive enough. She probably already has a boyfriend, she's going to reject me, and I'll look like a fool. And just like that, the opportunity slips away. This is the real enemy holding you back all your life. It's not the women, it's not the competition. It's your own insecurity. Why does insecurity block you? Because it's not just a passing feeling. It's a whole belief system trapping you in a mental cage. It convinces you that you're not good enough, that you don't have what it takes to attract the woman you truly want. But here's the truth. Women don't reject you because you're not attractive enough. They reject you because you don't see yourself as attractive. People sense what you project. If your body language screams, "I don't belong here," people will feel it. If every word you say sounds like an apology for existing, no woman will feel drawn to you. Insecurity shows up in everything: how you walk, how you talk, how you look at others. And this is something Neil Strauss, the author of The Game, understood firsthand. His transformation was radical, but it wasn't magic or some secret formula. Strauss wasn't born confident. In fact, if you saw his photos before he became the seduction icon he is today, you'd see just an average guy, thin, wearing glasses, nothing in his appearance that made him stand out. He wasn't the best looking, the tallest, or the richest. But he decided that insecurity would not define his life. When Strauss began his journey into the world of seduction, the first thing he noticed was this. The most attractive men weren't the best looking or the most muscular. They were the ones who radiated confidence, security, and charisma. He learned that everything starts in the mind. If you think you're not worth it, your body language, your tone of voice, and your actions will reflect exactly that. And here's where most guys fail. They try changing their clothes, their body, or their pickup lines. But if they don't change how they see themselves, nothing works in the long run. Breaking down insecurity at its root is the first step. So let's do a practical exercise. If you want to start transforming your mindset and leave insecurity behind, you need to identify the negative self-talk that's sabotaging you. First, grab a piece of paper and write down every negative belief you have about yourself when it comes to women. Maybe you tell yourself, "I'm boring, no woman would ever notice me," or "I always end up in the friend zone," or even "women only go for guys with money or perfect bodies." Now, replace those beliefs with powerful affirmations. But don't just use random positive phrases, use real evidence. For example, instead of writing "I'm boring, no woman would notice me," write, "I can be interesting if I let my true personality show." If your thought is, "Women only go for guys with money or perfect bodies," change it to "Women value confidence and charisma more than money or looks." Finally, say these affirmations out loud every day and start acting as if you are already that confident man. At first, it'll feel strange. But over time, your mind will start to accept this new identity. This is just the first step. Now that you know insecurity is your biggest enemy and you've started breaking it down, in the next part, I'll show you how to reprogram your mind for total confidence. It's not just about repeating phrases. It's about changing habits and behaviors that reinforce that inner security. The only difference between you and the guy who gets the woman he wants is the mindset he has about himself. And the good news is that mindset can be trained. Now that you have the first tool, you're ready to take the next step. Breaking the cycle of insecurity isn't just about wanting it. It's a process that demands action, a deep change in how you think, act, and see yourself. In the first part, we saw how insecurity is a silent enemy that sabotages your life without you even realizing it. Now it's time to go further. You need to reprogram your mind for confidence and stop depending on external validation to feel valuable. The habits you build and the environment you live in have a huge impact on your level of confidence. If you surround yourself with negative people, friends who complain that women only want money, or that you need to be handsome and muscular to attract someone, your mind will absorb those ideas and treat them as truth. The same happens with social media and the content you consume. If you spend your day watching videos of perfect men or ideal couples, You'll inevitably start comparing yourself and feeling like you don't measure up. But here's the key. Insecurity isn't a birth defect. It's a habit you've reinforced over time, and any habit, no matter how strong, can be broken if you start exposing yourself to environments and people who build confidence instead of insecurity. Your mindset will change. Look to surround yourself with men who think big, challenge your beliefs, and inspire you to level up. That doesn't mean you have to ditch your friends overnight, but it does mean you need to become more aware of the ideas you let into your mind. The next step is to expose yourself to experiences that build your confidence. And here's where most guys mess up. They wait to feel confident before they act, when in reality, confidence comes after action. Think about when you learned to ride a bike. At first you didn't trust your balance, but you kept trying until it became natural. The same goes for personal confidence. You can't develop it without facing situations that test it. If approaching an attractive woman scares you, the only way to overcome that fear is by interacting with more women. If public speaking terrifies you, the solution is to do it anyway. Even if your hands shake at first, confidence is built through repetition. Small daily actions that push your limits add up. Don't wait to feel secure before you act. Act despite the fear, and confidence will follow naturally. One of the biggest mistakes men make in attraction is depending on external validation to feel worthy. When you seek a woman's approval to confirm you're attractive, you're giving her all the power, and she can sense it. Women pick up on when a man is truly confident and when he's desperate for approval. Nothing kills attraction faster than neediness. The solution is to flip your mindset. Instead of wondering, does she like me? Start thinking, I like her. Rather than trying to please everyone, be selective. When you act from self-approval instead of seeking acceptance from others, you become magnetic. To start applying this right now, here's a challenge you can do over the next 7 days. These are small, daily micro-challenges designed to push you out of your comfort zone and build your confidence step by step. Day 1. Hold eye contact with strangers a little longer than feels comfortable. Day 2. Say hello to 5 new people throughout the day, even if it's just a simple hi. Day 3. Start a conversation with someone you don't know, no matter the setting. Day 4. Share your opinion in a conversation without fear of disagreement. Day 5. Walk down the street with open, confident posture, no crossing your arms or looking at the ground. Day 6. Give a genuine compliment to a woman without expecting anything in return. Day 7. Dare to talk to a woman you find attractive, not to impress her, but simply to practice the interaction. These exercises might seem small, but they're incredibly powerful. You'll get used to acting without fear of judgment and reinforce your own sense of value. Over time, you'll notice insecurity weakening until it disappears completely. Now that you're starting to build your internal confidence, it's time for the next step, understanding what really attracts women and how you can naturally project it. In the next part, you'll discover why attraction isn't about looks or money. It's about the energy you give off. If you asked most guys what attracts a woman, they'd probably say money, a good body, a fancy car, or fame. And while those things might influence first impressions, there's something 1,000 times more important: the energy you project. Women aren't drawn just to what they see in the mirror or what's in your bank account. They're drawn to what they feel when they're around you. Do you radiate confidence or anxiety? Do you project security or doubt with every word you say? Attraction isn't logical, it's emotional. And that means you can't force it with rehearsed lines or fake strategies. Many times we see men with plenty of money and great looks who still fail in their relationships. Why? Because they might have it all, except the energy that sparks true attraction. On the other hand, there are men who aren't physically striking or wealthy, but attract easily. The difference lies in how they see themselves and how they project that perception to the world. The power of inner confidence, charisma, and leadership is what truly separates an attractive man from one who goes unnoticed. Inner confidence isn't arrogance. It's the feeling that you don't need to prove anything to anyone because you already know who you are. It's being comfortable in any situation without seeking approval. Charisma is the ability to connect with people, to make them feel at ease around you. Leadership doesn't mean being a boss or a successful entrepreneur. It means taking control of your own life instead of waiting for someone else to do it for you. Here's where the difference between natural attraction and forced attraction comes in. Natural attraction happens when you feel so confident in yourself that you don't need to act or fake anything to be liked. It's when a woman is drawn to the way you move, how you speak, and how you handle your surroundings. Forced attraction, on the other hand, is when you try too hard to impress, when you exaggerate stories, brag about your achievements, or try to fit into a mold that isn't yours. The problem with forced attraction is that it's obvious. A woman can spot from a mile away when a man is acting versus when he's genuinely confident. The key is how you show value without bragging or coming off needy. You don't need to tell a woman how much money you make or what car you drive. You don't need to boast about how many people admire you or how amazing you are. Showing value is more subtle. It's in how you handle the conversation, how you respond to challenges, and how you deal with rejection. A confident man doesn't get rattled if a woman doesn't respond the way he expected. He doesn't try to convince her he's a good choice. He just moves on. To start projecting this energy, let's do a practical exercise that will transform your body language and presence without saying a single word. Every time you enter a room, do this. First, keep your head up and your shoulders relaxed, not hunched or tense, just loose but firm. Second, when you walk, do it with purpose. Don't rush or fidget. A confident man moves calmly, like he knows exactly where he's going. Third, when you speak, use pauses. Don't be afraid of silence. Insecure men tend to fill every gap with unnecessary words. An attractive man knows his presence alone is enough. Finally, maintain eye contact. Hold the gaze without challenging or intimidating, but don't look away nervously. These small changes may seem simple, but they have a massive impact on how people see you. More importantly, they'll help you feel different. And when you feel different, the world responds to you differently. Now that you understand the real secret of attraction, in the next part, we'll explore how to start conversations without fear of rejection and create authentic connections without it feeling like effort. You've worked on your mindset, your confidence, and how you project your energy. Now we reach a crucial point, the conversation. Because no matter how much charisma you have, if you don't know how to start and keep a conversation naturally, everything else stays theory. Fear of rejection is what freezes most men. What if she laughs at me? What if she ignores me? What if I say something stupid? The truth is, the problem isn't rejection itself, but how you perceive it. When you approach a woman thinking you need a positive response to feel good about yourself, you automatically put yourself in a position of inferiority. You give all the power to the other person. But when you approach thinking it's just a moment, without expectations or pressure, the fear disappears. Opening techniques based on Neil Strauss's principles focus on this, creating curiosity, sparking emotions, and making the interaction flow naturally. The worst thing you can do is approach with generic lines like, "Hey, how are you?" or "Can I talk to you?" These don't create any impact and usually lead to short, uninterested answers. Instead, use openers that spark curiosity and make the other person want to engage. An effective method is using statements instead of questions. Instead of asking, "Where are you from?" you might say, "Let me guess. You have the energy of someone who's not from here." This shifts the dynamic. Rather than making her feel interrogated, you get her actively involved in the conversation. The mistake most men make when starting conversations is seeking validation instead of connection. They come in thinking, "I hope she likes what I say," instead of, "Let's see if we have something in common." The key is how you ask questions and manage the interaction. It's not just about what you say, but how you say it. When you ask questions, make sure they invite broader answers and real conversation. Instead of "Do you like to travel?" which can be answered with a simple yes or no, try something like, "If you could teleport anywhere in the world right now, where would you go and why?" This not only makes the conversation more interesting, but also lets you see how she thinks and build a genuine connection. This is where the game frame strategy comes in, so you don't depend on the outcome. Most men approach a conversation with a woman like they're in a job interview, carefully weighing every word, trying not to mess up. But the truth is, an attractive conversation isn't about saying the right things. It's about maintaining the right energy. The game frame means you set the rules of the conversation. Instead of reacting to what she says, hoping to impress her, you assume you're already interesting enough and let the conversation flow without pressure. If she responds with something short or uninterested, you don't try harder to keep the conversation going. You simply move on. This shows you don't need her approval, and ironically, it makes her want to keep interacting with you. To put all this into practice, here's a conversation challenge to eliminate your fear of approaching women. Over the next week, do the following. Day 1. Start a conversation with a stranger on the street or at a cafe, regardless of gender or context. Day 2. Ask an unconventional question to someone you don't know. Day 3. Start a conversation with a statement instead of a question. Day 4. Approach a woman you find attractive without overthinking it. Just do it. Day 5. Keep a conversation going for at least 5 minutes without asking closed-ended questions. Day 6. Challenge yourself to receive at least 3 short or negative responses and keep going without letting it affect your mood. Day 7. Go out and talk to at least 5 women, no matter the outcome. These exercises are designed to push you out of your comfort zone and make talking to women feel natural. Remember, the goal isn't to hook up every time, but to learn how to communicate confidently without fear of rejection. Now that you have the tools to talk to any woman without fear, in the next part, we'll explore how your body language and energy matter more than the words you say. You'll learn how to transmit attraction effortlessly just by the way you move and present yourself. You could have the best lines, the most polished charisma, and the sharpest social skills, but if your body language doesn't scream confidence, it all falls apart. Attraction doesn't start with what you say. It starts with how you move, how you stand, and how you take up space. Most men aren't rejected because of what they say, but because of what they project before they even open their mouths. Those first split seconds when a woman observes you say more than you realize. If your body screams anxiety, doubt, or discomfort, she'll pick up on it immediately. The body language mistakes that kill attraction instantly are more common than you think. One of the biggest is slouching, walking with your shoulders down and your eyes on the floor. Your energy shouts insecurity. Another fatal mistake is moving too quickly or nervously. Men who constantly adjust their clothes, touch their faces, or shift positions for no reason show a lack of internal control. Then there's weak eye contact. Avoiding someone's gaze, especially during conversation, makes you look like you don't trust yourself. Finally, the shaky voice. Speaking too fast, with a trembling tone, or too quietly, makes people unconsciously assume you don't believe in what you're saying. If you fix these mistakes, you're already several steps ahead. But if you really want to project an effortless, attractive presence, you need to work on 3 key elements: posture, voice, and eye contact. Posture is the foundation of everything. A confident man stands tall but relaxed. His back is straight but not stiff, shoulders open, not hunched. When he walks, he moves with purpose, not rushed but firm. A simple posture upgrade can make people see you in a completely different light. Your voice is your authority signature. It's not about being loud, but about speaking with clarity and presence. A simple trick to improve your voice is to slow down slightly and use intentional pauses. This not only makes you sound more confident, but also gives your words more weight. Eye contact is the bridge of connection. Holding steady eye contact without hesitation shows confidence. But there's a big difference between looking with assurance and looking with anxiety. The key is not to force eye contact, but to hold it naturally. If a woman looks away and then returns her gaze, that's a sign of interest. When you keep eye contact relaxed, without needing to look away first, you project dominance. But none of this works if you don't apply a crucial principle: detachment from the outcome. Many men ruin their body language because they're too worried about what others think. True attraction doesn't come from trying to impress. It comes from being so comfortable in your own skin that you don't need anyone's approval. When you move confidently because you like how you feel, not because you're trying to impress, women notice. When you speak without rushing because you know your words have value, people listen. When you hold eye contact without needing to prove anything, you radiate natural magnetism. To move this from theory to practice, here's an exercise to improve your posture, voice, and eye contact. 1. The presence mirror. Spend 5 minutes a day standing in front of a mirror, adjusting your posture until you look and feel more confident. Relax your shoulders, straighten your back, and adjust your gaze to convey confidence. 2. The pause test. Every time you talk to someone, practice pausing before you respond. This stops you from speaking too fast and strengthens your presence in the conversation. 3. The eye contact challenge. During a conversation, hold eye contact 1 second longer than usual before looking away. Don't force it, but don't break it too soon. 4. Daily posture check. Wherever you are, sitting, walking, or standing, check your posture. Ask yourself, Am I projecting confidence or am I shrinking? 5. Voice exercise. Read a paragraph aloud every day, focusing on speaking slower and clearer. Record yourself and notice the difference between an insecure voice and an authoritative one. When you make these habits part of your daily routine, the change is immediate. You don't need words to show confidence. Your body language will do it for you. Now that you master energy and presence, in the next part, you'll learn how to build a real connection with a woman and make her feel attracted on a deeper level. Because attraction isn't just about grabbing attention, it's about holding it. Catching attention is easy, but making a woman truly feel connected to you is what makes the difference. Superficial attraction might make her enjoy a conversation with you, but emotional connection is what makes her think about you, even when you're not around. Most men stay stuck in trivial talk that doesn't leave a mark. Questions like, "What do you do?" or "What do you like to do?" might break the ice, but they don't create real connection. If you want to stand out, you have to bring emotions and depth to the conversation. One of the most effective ways to do this is through personal stories. Instead of giving generic answers, share anecdotes that show your essence. If she asks what you do in your free time, instead of saying, "I like to work out," you could tell her about a physical challenge you overcame that taught you discipline. Stories paint pictures in the mind and build a stronger connection than a simple answer. Here's where strategic vulnerability comes in. It's not about oversharing emotions or your problems, but about sharing moments when you faced challenges and learned something valuable. Authenticity is attractive because it shows confidence in yourself. Another powerful technique is the mirroring effect, subtly matching parts of her body language and tone of voice. This creates comfort and familiarity, making the conversation flow naturally. To practice this, try the personal storytelling exercise. Choose 3 experiences that define you and tell them with emotion, including sensory details and lessons learned. Practice sharing them spontaneously during your interactions. The key to connection isn't trying to impress her, it's making her feel something. Now that you understand how to spark genuine interest, in the next part you'll learn how to keep that attraction alive and make her want to see you again. Connecting with a woman is just the start. The real challenge is keeping her interest without falling into toxic patterns or losing your authenticity. Many men make the mistake of thinking that once they spark attraction, everything is guaranteed. But the truth is, one wrong move can make it all crumble in days. One of the biggest risks is falling into the friend zone or the nice guy syndrome. That happens when a man stops projecting attraction and starts acting like a friend or someone who will do anything to please. In trying to be too nice, he loses the spark of attraction and ends up weak. To avoid this, it's crucial to understand the power of scarcity and mystery, handled well. It's not about playing games or manipulating, it's about keeping your life moving and not becoming predictable. Women are attracted to men who have purpose and don't revolve their world around them. If you're too available or always accessible, the dynamic loses excitement. The real secret to leaving an unforgettable impression is balancing attraction with authenticity. That means not chasing, but attracting. A man who has options, focuses on personal growth, and doesn't depend on a woman's validation naturally generates interest. When a woman feels you're with her because you want to be, not because you need her approval, attraction sticks. To make this happen, focus on growing as a man. The strongest attraction comes from an abundance mindset. The more you develop your confidence, skills, and emotional independence, the more irresistible you become. To wrap up with a plan of action, here's a 30-day challenge to conquer insecurity and master attraction. Week 1. Work on your body language, posture, and eye contact. Week 2. Improve your conversation skills by applying personal stories and the mirroring effect. Week 3. Develop a purpose beyond attraction, something that excites and challenges you. Week 4. Practice strategic scarcity. Don't always be available. Prioritize your life instead of revolving it around her. Everything we've covered boils down to one key idea. Confidence and attraction don't come from tactics but from who you are and how you see yourself. If you align your mindset with your actions, attraction becomes natural and effortless. It's not about changing who you are but removing what holds you back and amplifying your best self. Apply these principles and you'll see improvements not only in attraction but in every area of your life. The key is to act, not just understand the theory. This is your moment. Now it's up to you to take control.